Gratitude Research Center, and I'm going to be talking to you today about becoming the superhero in your own life. So I wore my favorite Wonder Woman shirt today, complete with cape, so I could talk to you about becoming the superhero of your own life. When my big son, who's now 30, was a little boy, he used to love superheroes, in particular the X-Men. And I would always watch the X-Men with him, and I actually got to where I kind of liked it too. And I looked up once what made those mutants become superheroes. And it was the fact that they had neurological differences or neurological power. And truthfully, that's exactly what becoming the superhero of your own life will cause you to do, is to have neurological power that other people don't have. Because in controlling your own life, the number one thing you have to do is control your own emotions. Because when your emotions control you, you're at the mercy of everyone and everything who affects your emotions. But when you're in control of your own life and you know how to control your emotions, you can become the superhero of your own life. So today we're going to talk to you about how to get in control of your emotions, how to become that neurological power that you've always wanted to be. I remember the day that I heard this, and I can't even remember who it was now, but I was listening to some podcast, or it was on TV. And I remember the lady saying that if you're mad, you don't have to act mad. And I remember thinking, how else would you act? And then she said, and if you're sad, you don't have to act sad. And I thought, this lady's crazy. How do you not act sad if you are sad? Well, now that I went back to school and understand the brain, I know exactly what she was talking about. Because just because your internal neurological area where your emotions are in the limbic system is feeling sad, you can override that in your prefrontal cortex and you can become the person who can control your emotional state. Let's take, for example, that you're stuck in traffic and you're one of those people that gets you really frustrated and makes you upset, and you start worrying. And worry is really negative imagination. And you start visualizing all these possibilities of things that could happen. You could get fired, you could get in trouble, you could lose a promotion, you could, miss your business meeting. You start just thinking of all these things, and your brain goes into a frenzy of chemicals that are releasing in your body that are doing things that you do not realize they're doing. Every single time you get in a negative state, your body is releasing normally negative chemicals. The only time stress is beneficial for you, which it's not meant to be bad, but it's meant to last only 3 minutes. And we live in a state of constant stress and constant frenzy. And it is doing things to our brain that we never, ever knew until we began to develop the equipment. And the people that understand how to read those scans have now found out that it's actually chronic stress is eating little holes in your brain. Because we in this country, in this day and time, live in a constant state of stress. And it is not good for your body. It's not good for your heart. It's not good for your digestion, and it's not good for your relationships. And we know now it's also not good for your brain. So learning how to control that can be your own superpower. So when you're in that frenzy of, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late, and oh my gosh, this guy cut me off, and oh God, I'm so late, and their I-30's blocked, and what are we going to do? You have to, first of all, say out loud to yourself, stop. That freezes your brain for just a second and allows you to pause and go, oh, it's the same if you ever watched Caesar and the dog whisper, and he would always make that noise to the dogs because it stops you just long enough to pause, and then your brain can go along a different path. If you say stop And then you pause and do the 3-3-3 breathe method. Breathe in for 3, hold for 3, out for 3. In for 3, hold for 3, out for 3. If you do that just 3 times, you have stopped that chemical crazy in your brain long enough for you to get control of yourself. The third thing you need to do is go back to your prefrontal cortex and name your emotion. Just being able to name your emotion causes you to be in control of your emotion. So instead of just being mad and just going off and reacting and doing something crazy, you can say, I'm feeling mad because I'm going to be late for work and I'm afraid I'm going to get in trouble. Then when you are in control, you can also problem solve and think of solutions. You can think to yourself, I'll take a different route. 3 people were late last week and no one got in trouble because my boss understands we live in the Metroplex where people have wrecks, roads get shut down all the time. You could come up with another solution. I'm going to leave 30 minutes early tomorrow. I'm going to start leaving 30 minutes early every day so that I can bypass this traffic, or if I get stuck in it, I can still be on time. I'm going to start joining audiobooks. I'm going to listen to podcasts or a book on the way to work so that I will keep my brain from getting in a frenzy. Or you can say, you know what? I'm going to call ahead. I'm going to call and tell them I'm running late. There's a wreck on the highway and I will be there as soon as I can. You can come up with all these solutions only from your prefrontal cortex. When you're in the middle of a mad rage, anxiety-ridden, depression, whatever, your brain cannot come up with the best solutions. So learning how to control your emotions by stop, pause and breathe, and name your emotion so that you can think of some solutions for the problem instead of being someone who gets caught up in the problem and then all of a sudden they've done all these things that they wish they could take back. How many of us have done something and thought, God, why did I do that? Man, I wish I could do that again. Or, oh, I wish I wouldn't have said that. Or why did I do that? Why did I hit send on that email? Why didn't I wait until tomorrow? People in prison have been interviewed on numerous occasions and said these words, I don't know what I was doing. I wasn't in my right mind. Truthfully, they were not in their right mind because they were involved in the limbic system, in emotional frenzy, instead of being in the right part of their mind that can make problem solving, judgment, reasoning, and making your best decision. When you ask people why they did something and they say, I don't know what I was thinking, chances are they weren't thinking. They were involved in an emotional frenzy and they were not thinking. So today, become the superhero of your own life and learn how to control your neurological connections. You become the person who controls your life and watch the superpowers change. Watch the direction of your life change and watch everything you do change when you learn how to control your emotions. Thank you for joining me today on the Gratitude Channel. I'm Stacey Danford and I will be here every Thursday on Thankful Thursday to give you tips and tricks about how to use your brain to build a better life, to build a better business, to build better relationships, and to build a superhero. Bliss and blessings on this wonderful day. God bless you. I'll see you next week.